we're restarting something that we've done for a long time, and every now and then we break away from it. But every week we're going to have somebody from our group share a short testimony of what God's been doing in their life and how they came to Christ, because we all have different stories. And I love when you look at how you had no idea who the person is that's sitting next to you and where they've been from or where they came from. Because God has a way of taking wherever we came from and cleaning us up and making us use it towards His purpose. So, Donnie Greer is going to come up and share just a few minutes. Buckle up your seatbelts, and Rachel's not here to keep an eye on it.
He's an unstoppable force.
Oh, I need a chair.
I'll be a chair.
Fireside chat.
So are we going to do this every week? Are you sure? So it's mine. Yeah. My name's Don. My middle name is Earl. My last name's Greer. I'm 55 years old, and the Lord has done a lot of things in my life. I'm going to do my testimony a little bit differently. The Lord told me last time I shared my testimony that He wanted me to share it in reverse. So I want to share with you where I am, what my passion is. My passion is marriage. My passion is setting the captives free. One of my passions is to give people the tools to where they're not counting on somebody else, but they're counting on their relationship with Christ. Yeah. And so that's my passion. Where I'm at right now, I've been married to an awesome woman for almost 8 years. The last time I gave my testimony was about 8 years ago, and 5.5 weeks later I was married to somebody that actually heard the testimony that I'm going to share with you tonight. And so you're going to know that she's a woman of faith. So and what the Lord has really done is He's given me, I wouldn't say a second chance, but He's given me my life all over again. I have 6 children. Counting Libby, which is mine and Rachel's, and Libby's not my biological daughter. She's my daughter, though. I'm her daddy. And the Lord has given me another chance being a good dad. I wasn't a good dad before. So in my life is, if someone was to ask me, so when you hear and you ask me how am I doing, I say I'm doing outstanding. That's what I really mean, is I'm doing outstanding. That doesn't mean I don't have highs and lows. But for the most part, my life is awesome. Amen. God has really blessed me and delivered me. Amen. So I shared with you, and one of the giftings that I have is to encourage people. Encourage people and actually get them to a place of repentance, to a place of actually changing their mind and asking them to open up their minds and ask the Lord, well, what is it that He really wants me to understand here? That's my gifting. And so I'm going to show you where Jesus didn't change, God didn't change anything about how He deals with people. Because when you look at the apostles were some pretty rough characters. So my life, so now I'm going to go back to the start, about 8 years old, and there's some things that happened in my life, trauma, and things that were just really distorted. But the Lord was showing me something in each one of these places. And I was sitting back there thinking about, what about that, Lord? And He showed me some things about the correlation. And so at 8 years old, I burned a church down to the ground. And it wasn't on purpose. I was playing with matches. I was 8 years old, and the church literally burned to the ground. And I look back, and I look at it now, and God says, I called you to go into churches and set them on fire. I left home when I was 14 years old. I came from a very abusive family. And I left home at 14. I lived on the streets and with friends for 3 years. And then I went into the military. And I signed up for the military. I was a tank driver for 2 years. And in the military, this is another one of the things, the correlations that God is going to show me. And I'm looking at you guys to see the judgment on your faces. Okay, so we'll break that off afterwards. But God is grateful. And He was very gracious to me and very loving to me and showed me how much I can forgive a lot because I've been forgiven.
Amen.
But at right around 19, 20 years old, I was in Europe, and I was trading weapons for drugs. And the military police had video and pictures of me, and I left the country without papers. And in the military, that's called AWOL. And so I was AWOL for 30 days, which then I became a deserter. And the reason why is because when I became a deserter, they couldn't ship me back when they caught me, or when I turned myself in, that they couldn't take me back to Germany. So whatever time I was going to serve in the United States, I was going to have to go back into German prison. So I turned myself in, and I did 8 months incarcerated. And I'm telling you these stories just to let you know where I've come from. And during this period of time, I think I was actually in the brig, or supposed to be in the brig when I met Kenny. So Kenny goes back that far in my life. And I was saved right around that time, about 20 years old. And that was 1980, 79, 80. And pretty much what the Lord showed me, how He had designed something in my life, is everything that's happening right here in Hilltop is what God had designed to happen in 1982, before the storm, before Santa Cruz took a really wild turn and had some major disasters. There was Bible studies happening at my house. We'd have Bible studies till 4 o'clock in the morning. And we would do this day in and day out for a very long period of time. And God just gave us strength. So it was these, what we called Holy Ghost parties.
How old were you?
Pardon? How old was I? I was 20. And so I decided to take a different turn in my life at that time. And divorced my wife. That's what's Kenny's stepdaughter. So when I say that Kenny was actually my stepfather, that's the truth. And left her and got into some trouble and got incarcerated again for 18 months. And during that time that I was incarcerated, the Lord taught me how to read. At that time I was 24 years old. And I never knew how to read before I went to prison. And the only one that came and visited me while I was in jail was Ken. And so the Lord always showed me how much He loved me. There was always something that was coming back into my life and showing me love. And so, mind you, I had already been saved and went off in the wrong direction. So I'm giving you that testimony because God continuously chased after me. And when I think about the things that I learned during that time, that God used me to minister to people incarcerated. Even after, in every situation that I got involved in, the Lord used me. And there became a new spark in me. And then, to jump into another part of my life, I got married again and had 3 more children with her. And I was married to her for 20 years. And during that 20 years, 15 years of that was living a double life. I was a meth addict for 15 years out of that. And she had no idea, my family had no idea. And what meth did to my brain was just cook it. It's very testifying to God's goodness and His healing power that He actually healed my mind and my brain. So during that time, I had a nervous breakdown. My brain was so cooked that I tried to commit suicide probably 7 times. And I was, again, incarcerated. It was a different type of incarceration. It was an individual institution. For 5.5 months, and then for 16 months in and out of a mental hospital. And every time I went to a different place, God brought somebody into my life to minister to. Even at the broken place that I was at. The reason I share this with you is because we think that sometimes we have thought that we need to get somewhere else before God can use us. But God used me in every place that I was at. And I didn't sign up for it. I didn't feel like I signed up for that, but that's what God put in front of me, and that's what happened. So I'm encouraging you to know that every place that you're at and every place that you go through is an opportunity for God to move through you. And some of the most miraculous things happened in those tragedies in my life. So I wanted you to know a little bit more about me. I know that I've missed all kinds of different things, but the other is that I was asking the Lord when we were in worship, I go, Lord, the question came out was, Lord, there's been people in my life that I thought were untouchable, that I thought that they're too far gone, or they're too far religious that God would never be able to move through them. And the three people that I can think of has radically had their lives changed. And God has used them. But my perspective was that God could not use them. And so there's probably people out there that we know that we feel like that God couldn't move through. And I challenge you to keep your eyes open, because that's the next person God's going to bring healing and deliverance to. And it's exciting that God can use it. The reason I give my testimony, I was asking Lord, why do we give our testimony? And one is to encourage you that you have family members out there that are strung out on drugs, that you have them going in the wrong direction, and they're not so far gone that God can't touch them. And the other is that you'll probably find the most powerful people that demonstrate God's love and power have been broken. And the other is they know what forgiveness is. They know what it's like to say, I mean, when I think about it, love has been expressed to me in ways that I can't explain. When I think about it, after all that mess that I caused, God blessed me with a wife that talks to me. He blessed me with a daughter that calls me daddy. He blessed me with finances. He's blessed me in every area of my life. But what I get the most joy out of is when I sit across from somebody and express to them how much God loves them. And then the Lord starts to give me words and visions of what that person looks like, and to be able to speak it out. And so, but I want to share with you that you don't have to be where you think you have to be before God can move you. And so right now, I just want to release that over all of you, that you would be able to have the Lord open your eyes and show you the people right in front of you that can be changed. And they'll be the next person that will be setting other people free. And that you'll be able to see some of that domino effect of the people's lives that you've changed and the lives that they've changed. And so right now, Lord, I just thank you for that. I thank you that they have dreams and visions of what that looks like. And Lord, most of all, I'm so thankful for your grace and your forgiveness and your empowerment. Booyah!